Hello, welcome to today's lesson. Here are our get ready questions to prepare ourselves for today. Give them a go. Our answers here, number 1, that means 5 squared. 5 times 5 is 25. Number 2, 47 squared is equal to 47 times 47. 9 squared is 81. And number 4, 3 squared add 11. 3 squared is 9, meaning 9 add 11 is equal to 20. For today's lesson, it would be really useful if you had a selection of small cubes that can be fitted together to make larger shapes. On the screen, we have 6 cubes. Can we fit them together to make a larger cube? Have a think using the cubes you have, or if you don't have them, have a go at using a drawing to explore that question. You'll have found that you can't fit 6 small cubes together to make a larger one. The nearest I got was something like that, but we can see there is 2 cubes missing there to make a complete cube. Therefore, with 6 cubes, we can't make a larger cube. Here we've got 8 cubes. Let's ask the same question. Is it possible to make a larger cube with 8 cubes? You may have found, especially if you have some cubes to help you, that it is possible, and there's a cube made of 8 smaller cubes. How do we know it's a cube? Well, we know that all the faces are the same size, that they're each 2 cubes by 2 cubes, and of course, going into the depth of the cube is another 2 cubes. We can put this in a multiplication. 2 times 2, which we know is 4, a square number, and we can see the face of the cube is that square, that 2 by 2 square. And then we have another 2, so we're going to do another multiplied by 2. 2 times 2 times 2 is equal to 8, and we know that because we used 8 cubes to make that larger cube. Therefore, because we can make a larger cube from 8 small cubes, we call the number 8 a cube number. Yesterday we looked at square numbers, and today we're looking at cube numbers and looking at the connections between those 2 special groups of numbers. Here's another large cube that I've made from smaller cubes. Here we can see it's a cube because we have a face that's a 4 by 4 face, so 16, a square number, and then its depth of this cube is also 4. Therefore the number sentence for this cube will be 4 times 4 times 4. 4 times 4 is 16, and then we need to multiply that 16 by 4 to find the total number of cubes used here. 16 times 4 is equal to 64. Therefore, 64 is another cube number. Let's compare how we write square numbers to how we write cube numbers. Here are the 2 cube numbers we've learnt about so far, 8 and 64. Let's bring up a squared number that we saw yesterday. 2 times 2 is equal to 4. Therefore, 4 is a square number. We know from yesterday that we write that number sentence like this, and we'd read that 2 squared is equal to 4. Why do we write a little 2 above and to the right of the number we're squaring? Because squaring means multiplying a number by itself twice, in this case the number 2 twice. We write cube numbers in quite a similar way, but this time we are taking a number, in this case 2, and we're multiplying it by itself 3 times. Therefore, the small number that we write above and just to the right of the number we're cubing is a 3, because 2 times 2 times 2 is 2 cubed. How do you think we write 4 cubed? Have a think. This time we're multiplying 4 by itself 3 times. So we'll write 3. And how do we say that sentence? We say that like this. 4 cubed is equal to 64. Tiny says 5 cubed is equal to 15 because 5 multiplied by 3 is equal to 15. Have a think about the error that Tiny has made. We know that 5 cubed means this, 5 times 5 times 5. I think the error that Tiny's made is that Tiny's seen that, 5 and a little 3 to the side, and thought that means 5 times 3. It doesn't, it means 5 cubed. 5 multiplied by itself 3 times. What is 5 cubed then? How I'd answer that is I would find 5 squared first, 5 times 5, which is 25. Then we need to multiply 25 by 5. 25 times 5 is 125, which means 5 cubed is 125. 125 is another cube number. Have a think about how you'd answer those 3 questions. The first question is 8 cubed, which we know means 8 times 8 times 8. I would do 8 times 8 first, 8 squared, which we know is 64. Then we need to do 64 times 8. 64 multiplied by 8 is 512. The second question, 3 cubed is 3 times 3 times 3, which is equal to 27. Therefore, we need 27 on both sides of the equal sign. We need to add 2 to 25 to make up to 27. And the third question, 4 cubed is 64. We have 64, therefore, on the right-hand side of the equal sign. 100 subtract 36 is equal to 64. So we need to put 100 in the box there. Your turn to do some questions about cube numbers now. Have a go at questions 1 to 4 on the worksheet. Over the past 2 lessons, we've learnt about squared numbers and now cube numbers and the relationships between those special types of number. This activity explores both square and cube numbers. Have a go at completing it by matching the numbers or calculations on the left with the number or calculation on the right. 1 cubed is 1 because 1 cubed means 1 times 1 times 1, which is 1. The second one down, 3 cubed, 3 times 3 times 3 is 27. The third one down on the left hand side, 3 times 3, that of course means 3 squared, which is 9. 6 cubed, well we can't see 6 cubed on the right hand side. 6 cubed is 216. However, we can see 36 times 6, and we know 36 is 6 squared. 5 times 2 is 10 of course, which is very different to 5 squared. And 1 add 1 add 1, that's equal to 3. Over to you to finish off the worksheet for the lesson. Have a go at questions 5 to 8.